Chapter 28. This plot seriously collapsed again. Tang Yu was about to vomit blood. A wipe. Every time I try to lie flat, the difficulty level increases. This was supposed to be a peaceful day, a chill, salted fish day. Now the story had veered off the rails so hard it might as well be in another genre. He clutched his chest like a tragic heroine. Why is it so hard for a Gabi to just coast in life? Is peace too much to ask? At that moment, his phone was still on the call. Hello? Hey, you there? Did you freeze? Wang Yixui's voice crackled from the other end. No, I'm just really touched. I'm speechless. Aw, how sweet, she laughed. Next time I find a money-making opportunity, I'll come straight to you. Thanks, Tang Yu mumbled, wiping away invisible tears as he hung up. The heat outside was suffocating, but somehow he felt like he'd been dunked in an ice bath. His limbs were cold. His heart was colder. Hell is empty. And the Dragon King walks among us. That was all he could think. Su residence. A familiar face returns. Once one of Su Hang's most powerful families, the Su family had been in steady decline for years. Only the brilliance of Su Muyue had kept them clinging to their status as one of the Big Four. But today, as her Maserati pulled into the driveway, someone waited for her by the gates, Yechen. After being politely kicked out of the Tang family, he hadn't shown his face around here for days. Until now. Muyue! It's been a while, Yechen greeted her with what he thought was a roguish smile. Su Muyue stepped out of the car with a frown. What do you want? Yechen's heart swelled. Look at her, pretending not to care. So noble. So selfless. She was clearly just trying to protect him from danger. Foolish girl. I missed you, he said with fake affection oozing from every pore. Don't speak to me like that. We're not close, and you should mind your own business. She pushed past him, but Yechen jumped in front of her, eyes glowing with delusion. Stop pretending. I know you care. You're just scared I'll get hurt by the Tang family. Let me tell you, the Tang family, nothing. Ants. Compared to me, they're dust. Soon, all of Suhang will know who really runs this city. Su Muyue looked like she was trying not to throw up. Right then, several members of the Su family stepped out and saw the scene. Su Chongshan's face darkened like a thundercloud. It's you again? After disgracing us last time, you dare show up? Turning to the guards, he barked, Throw this lunatic out! The bodyguards rushed forward and swung punches. But Ye Chen didn't move. Instead, he absorbed their hits, then gave a little shake. Boom, both bodyguards stumbled backward and fell. Everyone stared. Okay, that was unexpected. This clown actually had some skill. Ye Chen flashed a smug smile. You look down on me too easily. I'll show you exactly who I am. I, Ye Chen, am your real son-in-law. Tang Yu, that guy's a joke. He took a dramatic pause. 3 days from now is Muyu's birthday. I'm personally throwing her a party. I'm renting out the top floor of Bright Moon Hotel, the best in Suhang, and I'm giving your Su family a gift too. Worried about the land deal west of the city? Don't be. I'll get it for you. He finished with flair, proud as a peacock. The Su family not buying it? Did he hit his head? One elder asked. Anyone got the number for a mental hospital? You? Renting the top floor of Bright Moon Hotel? Dream on. They roared with laughter. 2 years ago, the Tang family had tried to rent that exact venue for Su Muyu's birthday. Even after offering $300 million, the hotel refused. Unless the Tang family bought the entire building, there were no exceptions. And this wannabe Dragon King thought he could just walk in and book it? Ye Chen sneered. If you don't believe me, look at this. He tossed a folder into their hands. Top-secret land planning documents. Everyone fell silent. Su Chongshan flipped through the pages and froze. These are municipal plans. Internal government documents. How the hell did he get these? Each page detailed land allocations, development schedules, bidding details. Stuff even major real estate giants would kill for. Tens of billions in potential profits were at stake. The room went still. Even the mocking stopped. From a purely business standpoint, this man might be valuable. A few people in the family looked at each other, minds already shifting. If Tang Yu can't get us this kind of benefit, the iceberg's ultimatum but Su Muyue, she had zero interest. She just saw a golden opportunity to get rid of Ye Chen once and for all. If you really can pull this off, then fine, she said coldly. But if not, you stay out of my life forever. The Bright Moon Hotel top floor? That's impossible. This way he'll embarrass himself and leave. In a word, Ye Chen said proudly. He turned and swaggered off. Behind him, the Su family laughed again, though a few were now conflicted. This might be the best test of his so-called strength, someone whispered. Step back outside. As Chen walked away, still basking in his imaginary glory, a sleek black Rolls-Royce pulled up silently. A figure stepped out. A chill crept into the air. Chen's expression changed. The real players were about to arrive. Chapter 29. A tall man bowed respectfully to him after getting out of the car. Dragon King, Dragon's Tooth, how are things going? Chen asked indifferently. A domineering aura unique to the superior permeated from him, making the man in front of him quite stressed. The man he called Dragon's Tooth was one of the 8 great generals of the Dragon Soul organization. Because he looked ugly, was loyal, and proficient in business, he had Chen's trust. He usually brought Dragon's Tooth wherever he went. It was convenient. Also, it set off his handsomeness with his ugliness. Dragon Tooth hurriedly reported, "Pray to the Dragon King. Blackstone Group has been successfully acquired and has changed its name to Longchen Group." After Huajin Investments suffered a major loss a few days ago, the Dragon King transferred him back to China from Europe and let him mobilize a full 500 billion funds to successfully acquire the Blackstone Group in Suzhou and Hangzhou. The Dragon Soul organization, its background was unfathomable. Chen said after a moment, "Then I'll leave it to you. I don't want to expose my identity too early." Thanks to the trust of the Dragon King, the subordinate will definitely take care of Longchen Group, Dragon Tooth said excitedly. Chen nodded in satisfaction. This Suhang was not the same as he thought. Just relying on low-key thinking was too slow. He decided to speed up and conquer Suhang. Longchen Group would be his pioneer. Dragon's Tooth. I'm going to have a birthday party for my woman in 3 days. You contract the top floor of Mingyu Hotel in the name of the person in charge of Longchen Group. After the contract is finalized, release the news so that the entire Suhang knows that the boss of Longchen Group wants to hold a birthday banquet for his lover. There's also the land in the west of the city. Also help the Su family take it down. Let the Su family see my strength. If anyone does not comply, die, Chen said extremely domineeringly. Dragon's Tooth leads. Dragon Tooth clasped his hands into fists. Whoever hindered the Dragon King, he would be cursed. Bright Moon Hotel. The only 7-star hotel in Suzhou and Hangzhou, which could be called the iconic landscape of Suzhou and Hangzhou. The main body of the hotel was 2 curved towers connected by an arched structure in the center. The hotel looked like a huge ring standing on the surface of the lake, combining the elements of Chinese and Western design. At night, the whole hotel was reflected in the lake like a bright moon. Not bad. The system is still quite a good reward. It is recommended to super double it next time. Tang Yu, who was driving the car, looked at this hotel from a distance, and he was quite satisfied. Having followed the dog system through so many rounds, this reward was indeed quite generous. Just suddenly so generous that he always felt that something was not right. When he drove the car to the hotel's general manager, Wang Defa, was already waiting for him at the door. Tang Xiao. Seeing Tang Yu get out of the car, he quickly came over and bowed. Don't be so polite, Wang. Tang Yu smiled and patted him on the shoulder. After the system assigned the hotel to his name, it also intimately replaced the management here with someone from the Tang family. Tang Xiao, I'll take you inside first. Shay. Wang Defa made an inviting gesture. Tang Yu nodded and followed Wang Defa around the hotel. As soon as he stepped into the hotel, the huge crystal chandelier attracted Tang Yu's attention. The entire hall was made of citrine and various jade, creating extravagance to the extreme. Wang Defa took Tang Yu around the facilities of the hotel in front and finally arrived at the hot spring. There were hundreds of hot spring pools in the hotel, of which more than 40 were hot spring villas. Rich people in Suzhou and Hangzhou often came here to spend. He asked, pointing to a villa, Tang Xiao, should we keep a few hot spring villas for private use? Just keep one building. Tang Yu nodded with a smile. Okay, I'll say hello later, and this hot spring villa will not be open to the public in the future. Wang Defa nodded, and the two turned around the hot spring and returned to the general manager's office. Not long after the two sat down, before Wang Defa had finished brewing tea, his secretary ran in. Mr. Wang, the person in charge of Longchen Group, came to our hotel and said that he would contract the top floor of the hotel to hold a birthday banquet. Contract top floor? Wang Defa raised his eyebrows. The top floor of Mingyu Hotel was a major signboard of the hotel. Because of the beautiful scenery, distinguished guests came here every day to spend money. If you contract the top floor of a hotel for one person, you would definitely offend other guests. Just as he was about to refuse, Tang Yu suddenly asked, Longchen Group? Yes, Longchen Group, which was called Blackstone Group some time ago, was renamed after being acquired. The secretary quickly replied. Blackstone Group was very famous in Suzhou and Hangzhou, and after it was suddenly acquired, many people were curious about it. Where did the river dragon come from, and who could have such a big hand, spending 500 billion to buy such a big company? Tang Yu immediately groaned. Fuck, isn't this the plot of chapter 95 of the original book? In this chapter, Ye Chen no longer pretends to be a pig and eat a tiger, and begins to show his strength step by step. In order to prove himself to the Su family, he contracts the top floor of the Mingyu Hotel that was never open, and holds a grand birthday party for Su Muyue. At this birthday banquet, everyone in the Su family was stunned, and no one dared to underestimate him anymore. Su Muyue was also conquered by his romance and completely fell in love with him. After taking the Su family, his power in Suhang grew stronger and stronger. He started to annex the Tang family. Dog system, IDNMD? You're especially trying to pit Laozi, right? Tang Yu cursed in his heart. He said this ghost system was suddenly so generous. There must be a ghost. According to the original plot, Ye Chen sent Dragontooth over to the top floor of the private venue to celebrate Su Muyu's birthday banquet. The hotel's general manager refused to break the rules, so Dragontooth choked the general manager's neck and threatened him with death. If you don't agree, die. After stepping into the ghost door with half a foot, he realized that this was a person who could not be offended and could only promise to comply. So now the pressure came to him. Do not promise? With the character of the mad dog Dragontooth, he would definitely do whatever it takes to make them agree. Promise it? This was also troublesome. If Ye Chen successfully took Su Muyu, and the Su family became his force, plus Longchen Group and other forces, the situation of the Tang family and himself would be very dangerous. Horizontal and vertical are all dead, and he couldn't think about it. He had to find a way to do something. After taking a deep breath, his gaze fell on Wang Defa. If he remembered correctly, this guy's talent was also quite good. One of Shuangwen's villain settings was that the villain's subordinates were always very good at things. Wang Defa was no exception. So Tang Yu felt that this was a great opportunity for him to show his talent. What's wrong, Tang Xiao? Noticing Tang Yu's strange gaze, Wang Defa quickly smiled and asked, Mr. Wang, I think we can agree to the matter of contracting the top floor, but we must not let the birthday banquet be held. Do you know what I mean? Tang Yu smiled and squeezed his eyebrows. The birthday party being successfully held was a dead end in the original plot. If you don't agree, the beast Dragontooth causes trouble. Since that's the case, let Wang Defa play well. With the understanding of these 2 and 5 Zai, the effect of the divine brush was guaranteed, and the Dragon King would tremble. Okay. Wang Defa nodded, still a little confused in his heart. What did Tang Xiao mean? If you didn't want to, just refuse it and it's over? He left the office and went to the reception room to meet the waiting Dragontooth. What is this gentleman called? I am Wang Defa, the person in charge of the hotel. Wang Defa greeted with a smile on his face and shook hands with Dragontooth. Dragontooth shook hands with Wang Defa with a proud face. My name is Dragontooth. My boss wants to celebrate the birthday of his woman, Miss Su Muyui. How much is your top floor? Make a price. He had heard the rules of the Bright Moon Hotel. The top floor was not for contract. But the Dragon King had already given the order. What the Dragon King wanted to do, then it must be done. He was ready to give the other party a dismount and let Mingyu Hotel know that there were people they couldn't refuse. Dragon King, die! Wang Defa's eyes instantly became gloomy. Miss Su was their boss's woman? What kind of thing? Feelings are to rob women with Tang Xiao? He reacted instantly. No wonder Tang Xiao wanted to let himself promise first, and then make it yellow. It turned out that he deliberately wanted to hit the other party in the face. The opportunity to get ahead has come. Wang Defa smiled proudly in his heart and promised aloud. Mr. Long, hello. Our Bright Moon Hotel has the intention to make a good alliance with your company. So, this time, we make an exception to open the top floor of the contract, and there is no charge. Wang Defa's attitude made Dragontooth a little surprised. He quickly figured it out again. Presumably, the existence of Longchen Group made the other party fawn. After all, to buy a company with a large sum of 500 billion, everyone with a little brain knew. The strength of a person who could do such a thing must be unfathomable. Since your hotel is so sincere, then I accept your friendship on behalf of Longchen Group. I will send the birthday banquet plan to Mr. Wang later. Dragontooth said, satisfied. Okay. Wang Defa agreed with a smile, and both of them laughed like children of hundreds of pounds. After the two sides settled on this matter, Wang Defa hurriedly went back to report to Tang Yu. After learning that things had been finalized, Tang Yu nodded in satisfaction. Dog system wants to pit lousy? Brother's extraordinary wisdom, and there are crouching dragon and phoenix hatchlings under him. How can you deal with a small system? Chapter 30. After clearing the hotel hurdle, Tang Yu thought for a moment. According to the original plot, in order to show his strength, Ye Chen also helped the Su family secure the land west of the city, but that land had already been acquired by the Tang family. After Longye left the hotel, he was supposed to go handle that next. To avoid this mad dog from stirring up trouble, Tang Yu decided to pull the same move again. Mr. Wang called Mr. He and asked him to temporarily transfer the land in the west of the city to the Su family. He looked at Wang Defa as he gave the order. Let Ye Chen first show off by gifting that land to the Su family. Then, once the birthday party gets ruined by Wang Defa, he can just take the land back. At that point, the Su family would realize they were played for fools. How could they possibly give Ye Chen a good face after that? In any case, he couldn't let that dog thing keep building power in Suhang. Okay, Tang Xiao. Wang Defa nodded firmly. He already assumed Tang Xiao was giving that land as a birthday gift to Miss Su. Worthy of Tang Xiao, always thinking ahead. This arrangement must be handled well. Just then, a system notification rang in Tang Yu's ear. Ding, host, you're truly scheming and meticulous. Reward unlocked. Ancient martial art. Fudoming King Gong. One-time use. Tang Yu's eyes lit up. Ancient martial arts? In urban web novels, if there's no immortal cultivation, ancient martial arts are always the peak. The Fudoming King Gong, as per the system's description, was a defensive art. At full mastery, one's body would be as indestructible as the unmoving king. In other words, your brother's defense just went god tier, although it's a one-time use. Yeah, a bit stingy. System, can you remove the one-time use label? Tang Yu asked, grinning. Silence. The system ignored him, dead quiet. Tang Yu sighed. This system was truly a dog. Still, one time is better than none. Starting today, no matter how strong the expert, they better throw 2 punches if they want to kill him. He chuckled. I wonder what reward I'll get after the birthday banquet. That's a major plot event. With high spirits, Tang Yu walked out of the office. He went out laughing like a villain straight out of a drama. No one knew he was lychee. Meanwhile, Wang Defa stayed in the office, fired up. Getting transferred to oversee the Bright Moon Hotel was a huge promotion, and the task given to him by Tang Xiao must be executed flawlessly. Stepping on that love rival and dead dog Ye Chen, Tang Xiao will gain so much face. He sat at his desk, ready to execute, just waiting for the birthday banquet plan from Dragontooth to arrive. 2 hours later, the email finally landed. Wang Defa opened it, scanned the contents, and burst out laughing. This brat's plan is so damn romantic. Ye Chen, right? Good. If I don't step on your face at this birthday banquet, I'm not Wang. He grinned wide, already rubbing his hands in anticipation. Meanwhile, after leaving the Bright Moon Hotel, Longye, acting as the head of Longchen Group, moved to secure the west of city land for the Su family. It should have been a complex deal, probably requiring some behind-the-scenes maneuvering. But once he contacted the right person and explained his intentions, the other party agreed on the spot. They didn't even ask for any terms, just said they'd sell Longchen Group some face. Everything was going too smoothly, and Longye couldn't help but feel smug. After all, their organization had just spent 500 billion buying up a company in Suhang. The entire region was in awe. Suhang? Nothing more than a stepping stone. No wonder the Dragon King picked this city as the first target upon returning to China. Conquering Suhang? Child's play. He quickly called Ye Chen to report. Dragon King, everything is done. Very good. Your competence is still reliable. Now spread the news. Make this birthday party known to all of Suhang. Yes, Dragon King! Hey. With Longye's push, news quickly swept through Suzhou and Hangzhou. The top floor of the legendary Bright Moon Hotel, which even the Tang family couldn't book, had been privately contracted by the mysterious boss of Longchen Group. The whole upper crust of society buzzed with curiosity. Who was this mysterious tycoon? And who was the woman worthy of such extravagance? Having her birthday party at that hotel? The women of Suhang were full of jealousy and envy. Why couldn't it be them? 3 days later, several Rolls-Royces pulled up at the gate of the Su family. Dragontooth stepped out of the lead car and entered the estate. It was evening, and the entire Su family was already waiting for Ye Chen to arrive. They were ready to see, could this man really possess power beyond the Tang family? When they heard that Longye had arrived, they were stunned. Dragontooth? Isn't that the man from Longchen Group? What was he doing here? Dragontooth walked right up to Sumu Yu and bowed. Miss Su, Yashao asked me to escort you to the Bright Moon Hotel for your birthday banquet. Ye Chen? Sumuyu frowned slightly. Yes. So he really booked the top floor of the Bright Moon Hotel? The Su family was visibly shaken. So the mysterious boss behind Longchen Group was Ye Chen? Sumuyu took a deep breath. Fine. She had to settle things with him anyway. She stood up and said, All right, let's go. Seeing her about to leave, Su Chongshan quickly tried to stop her. Muyue, are you really going? Isn't that inappropriate? You and Xiaoyu already... What's Tang Yu? Dragon Tooth cut in coldly. If Ye Xiao wants to destroy him, it's just a flick of the finger. The arrogance in his voice silenced everyone. Tang Yu? Just a pampered rich second gen. Unworthy of fighting over a woman with the Dragon King. Su Muyue frowned but said calmly, Dad, it's okay. I'll go. If anything happens, I'll handle it. Su Chongshan sighed, helpless. All right. Soon the entire group boarded the cars and drove toward the Bright Moon Hotel. By the time they arrived, night had fully fallen. A crowd of reporters and society elites had already gathered outside the hotel. Everyone wanted to know which lucky woman had caught the eye of Longchen Group's mysterious boss. The Rolls-Royces didn't draw much attention. In a place like the Bright Moon Hotel, even Maybachs could be considered bodyguard cars. Everyone this way. Yashao is waiting on the top floor. Dragon Tooth led the Su family inside. Just as they entered the elevator, Su Chongshan's phone rang. He answered briefly, then his face lit up with joy. Muyue! The land in the west of the city, we got it. The Su family was shocked, then immediately overjoyed. That land was a gold mine easily worth tens of billions. This project could secure the Su family's standing for years. Their excitement was palpable. Ye Chen really did it. Choosing him maybe really was the better move. Dragon Tooth smiled faintly. This is just a casual show of Ye Xiao's power. His true strength is 100 times greater. At that moment, Ye Chen was upstairs. Dressed in a high-end suit, wine glass in hand, he stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows, enjoying the view. Tonight, he would show the Su family who their true dragon son-in-law was. Of course, the top floor was still empty. Only the staff were present. No other guests. He hadn't invited outsiders, only the Su family. After all, he couldn't go too high profile yet. If word spread that he was pursuing Su Muyue, it might ruin his plans for opening a harem. This setup, perfect. The Su family would see his power. His other girls would remain unaware. A flawless plan, he smiled. Everything was going perfectly.